The people from Klang Habitat sent me the hardware unit of Cassiopeia, and I also have the plugin. So let's see what the difference is and what is going on here. Because why buy hardware if you can buy a plugin cheap? And honestly, the results might surprise you. So let's get started. Alright, so this is Cassiopeia. I think that's the correct way of pronouncing it. I have no clue whatsoever. And this is a tube distortion unit, which basically works by driving the tubes in here out of its specification. I think they're depriving it of voltage or something, or like they're doing something with these tubes. And as a result, it's creating saturation or just plain hard distortion. And it's a super simple user interface. It's of course hardware, so I mean, can you call it a user interface then? Anyway, you have a bypass on here, and if I put it in bypass, you'll see that the tubes all of a sudden turn green. That is because they are being backlit by LEDs. The thing that you're seeing in here, like the orange glow, the warmth glow, it's just an LED. It's fake. Tubes don't really glow that much. Definitely these miniature tubes that are used in audio processing, there's really not a lot of glow coming from there. We've got output gain, of course, which is great to compensate for any gain differences. And the cool thing about this output gain is that it actually can boost the gain as well. So when it's at the center at 0 settings, it's unity. And when you're saturating, the gain actually goes a bit lower, so you can then pull up the gain a little bit more. And basically for the effect, we have one knob. That's the saturation knob, and this is the amount of saturation. The intensity knob is basically the dry wet, so you can just, you know, dial in the amount of wet signal you want to have. I would have called this just dry wet or mix or something on the front plate, because now you have to read the manual to understand what this knob is actually doing, or figure it out by ear. And yeah, that's it. So let me quickly demo how this thing sounds. This is of course the dry signal. Let's first do it fully wet. And then turn up the saturation. And it shows this also with the LEDs in here. Yeah, beautiful LED. So we can choose just a bit of saturation, or turn up the output gain a little bit. Full-blown distortion. And we can of course then blend this a little bit with the dry signal, like that. And that is all there is to it. It's a super simple unit, but the sound is such a delight. I actually like to insert it on a subgroup of the Neumann console. Like the Neumann console sometimes is a little bit too clean. Like that's not what I'm using analog for. I'm using analog for color, and then the Neumann console, they did their utmost best to not give any color to the signal. And now I'm sitting here with like, it's a beautiful console. I love it. But yeah, anyway, that's what I've used it the most on as an insert on the console, and actually on a lot of different instruments, really ranging from drums to acoustic guitar to actually piano. I did a little bit of that on a MIDI piano to make it more alive. Hammond, I put a lot of that on a Hammond organ. What did I do? I actually used it a lot already, and it's really cool. Now, if you want to have that effect, the first thing that comes to mind is getting the plugin, because there's also a plugin of this thing out there, and that's this thing, the Cassiopeia plugin, unique tube saturation. And actually, they gave me the plugin as well to check out, and I quickly emailed them back with like, hey, this is not the same thing. And well, they said, yeah, that's true, and they actually say it on the website as well. What they're saying here is that the initial development was a result of the actual hardware development. We used it to explore the secrets of actual tube saturation. All this experience can now be found in a plugin version. After countless A/B comparisons, we believe we can reach 85 to 90% of the sound character of the original. In our opinion, given the current state of art, this is more than amazing. They're saying a lot with this sentence, given the current state of art. If they can't achieve a simple saturation plugin, is that just them, or is that the whole industry? I actually think it's the whole industry. and most of the industry is selling it as 100%, but they are honest. Like this is just the way it is. And what I'm interested in now is like, okay, they can replicate 85 to 90%, but what does it actually mean? What does that translate to? So what I want to do is I want to take the plugin here, quick run through the plugin. We have the same settings, although they do react different from the hardware unit. And this is partly because of how the plugin is designed compared to the hardware unit. And also partly because of gaining, because I don't know how they gained, and most of all the reference level that they used for this plugin. But I think it's lower than the reference level that I'm running in my studio, because in my studio I'm running a plus 24 dBu broadcasting style analog level, because I just like to cook the shit out of it. No, it's just the way I do it. I know what I'm doing. Or at least I'm gaslighting myself into thinking I know what I'm doing. So the plugin, of course, has the same features as said. It has oversampling. I've turned that on all the way because I want to make the best comparison. It can be that it is going to alias without oversampling. And if you like the aliasing, then you should turn off the oversampling. Auto gain, can't get it on analog. Got an input trim and a color. And the color is basically a filter on the effect. So it's actually filtering the sound that's going into the effect and then leaving the rest true, so that it's not really filtering, it's only filtering the effect. Anyway, we're not going to touch that filter because that's unfair. Let's dial in a setting on the hardware and then replicate that on the plugin. And let's just have it work a little bit like that. All right. So something like that. And I've tried to replicate these settings now in the plugin. And you can see that I needed to use a lot of different settings here. So that's already interesting. But here is a comparison between the two. All right, so let me know what you think of that A/B test in the comments down below. Which one you prefer? Actually, I don't have a preference. I really like the hardware unit when things needs to be a little bit more dirty. And also in my workflow, sometimes it's better to use the hardware unit than to insert a plugin. If I'm already patching something through the analog gear, then it's easy for me to patch this one in between and difficult to patch the plugin in there. But the plugin is a little bit more subtle. It's a little bit more difficult to get that one into like rough distortion, but it's very finely tweakable. Is that a word? Yeah, that's what I experienced. It's just a little bit different. Also, there are a few of those extra features in here, which is great. And a plugin is, of course, easily duplicatable. You can use hundreds of these plugins in a session as long as your computer supports it. While for hardware, it's going to be a very expensive venture to, buy a rack full of these things in order to easily use them. So the ease of use of software is also worth something. But yeah, this is basically everything that I wanted to share about this thing. I just wanted to let you all know why this thing actually exists. Because it looks a little bit weird when a company is making both hardware and software products. But this is the reason. I think the more general reason for every company that makes both hardware and software simply is a little bit twofold. First of all, because there is a sound difference between the two. And second of all, so they can feed both workflows, both the analog users and also the digital users, producers, whatever. The analog unit sells for 900 euros, which is steep. But for that, you're getting a stereo unit. You can also get the mono unit, the Lyra, for 750 euros. It is whatever you prefer. I'm going to link to Klang Habitat in the description down below. I have no specific affiliate links about this right now. If that would happen in the future, I will make sure to disclose it in brackets. Regarding this unit, they've sent this thing to me and I haven't discussed keeping it or whatever. Anyway, I would love to keep it, but I'm not sure if I can figure out a deal with them or something, because right now I'm not in a position to invest 900 euros. It's just as simple as that. I've got other priorities. So this one is probably going to be sent back, but if it stays in the studio, it is staying in the studio because I like it. Equipment that I don't like have no place in my studio. So I just wanted to quickly put that out there so that you all know how I'm biased and that kind of stuff. Now, if you appreciate what I'm doing, consider checking out my general affiliate links, Thomann, Sweetwater and Plugin Boutique. They're also in the description down below. Using those links is highly appreciated and it really helps me a lot. For the people that don't know, an affiliate link basically works in a way that if you buy something at one of these shops, after clicking that link, a little bit of your purchase gets kicked back to me. You're not paying anything extra, but those shops simply gave me a little bit of thank you for referring you to them. So make sure to use them for your next purchase. Another way to support me is by becoming a channel member. You can do it using the join button down below. And as a channel member, you get early access to videos and access to this playlist depending on your membership tier. So check that one out. And the last way to support the whole YouTube platform is by watching more videos. You can watch a video of me or a video from somebody else that is linked around this video. That's also, you know, go ahead and watch other YouTubers as well. Thanks a lot for watching. Keep pushing and bye bye.